Really changes the dynamic here of this final table. Really a co-captaincy between himself and 𝐸𝐵𝐺𝐵. They both have exactly 11 million, good for 44 big blinds. Greenwood head in his hand a little bit, falling down to the bottom of the pack with D. Peters and Cale Burns. But, you know, I think, especially when he gets the information, he's going to feel pretty vindicated in how brilliantly he navigated that spot. Peters now with a great 8 big blinds cutoff shove. Not much to lose when it comes to worrying about outlasting anyone. I mean, you're basically last in chips. You're going to get some folds off this stack size as well.
Yeah, he's just looking to out-chip the other short stacks. Ooh, couple 8s for Vyacheslav. And he's going to make the call. Peters is at risk.
Yeah, big time at risk. One of the hugest deficits you can have pre-flop. Pair, over pair. But, Randy, the devil is in the details. And there are 2 red 6s out there, and he only needs one of them to take a huge lead.
Kind of like the snowman, to be honest.
Num num.
Here we go.
Ace of spades is a good card, but no more spades to speak of.
Where's the devil at?
And I can't help but think right now about the 31,000 that Sam Greenwood just gained by finding a way out of that pot as one of the most decorated players in Triton. David Peters falls in 9th place. You think about event number 3 with Jeremy Osmus, you know, that incredible kings to aces hand where you just think he should have been eliminated. Now he can come back and make a run at the final table. He wins. And now the first hand of the final table here, Sam Greenwood, by all accounts, most people in that situation would probably lose that 50 big blind all in with the jacks of the ace queen, finds a way to wiggle out with 8 big blinds, and here he is, you know, just 4th in chips with 8 remaining. Pretty amazing stuff.
Little ace queen suited for China's 𝐸𝐵𝐺𝐵. Vyacheslav, 9-8 offsuit. Let's see if he's got the appetite to play. It's a bit dangerous, just given that Kale's on 6 bigs and Manuel's on 9. Hasn't been shy of giving action. Is he cutting out more? Wow. This Vyacheslav's got game.
Yeah, I mean,
holy.
We saw a very, very big ace-queen offsuit fold yesterday at the final table. This situation, I just think when it's suited, I'd be very surprised to see 𝐸𝐵𝐺𝐵 fold this hand, but it looks very strong, this play.
Yeah. It is common for the big blind to attack very polar. Yeah, I would expect
Oh, did you see that?
What?
Is like the swallow, the deep swallow of the Russian, being like, oh, I kind of thought you would just fold ace-10 there, not call. But look at that, a hand that had equity against the particular range. And of course, Baliyev's going to be a little nervous. Would hate to be up against the 2 hands that might trap in this situation, aces and kings. And again, hands that might flat, maybe 10s, maybe jacks. But he's got to feel pretty damn good about this board, Randy.
I mean, he had 9 high, now he has top pair.
Yeah.
He has to commit chips at this point.
And one diamond to speak of for 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐽, so sizing dictates if it's small enough, might consider peeling. This is a bet of, 20%.
Yeah, it's
So-
interesting because he has, ace queen high, which might be good. He has a little backdoor, but the thing is, the 9-5-3 actually connects with some of the 3-bet bluffs. Like the ace 5 off, the ace 4 would have gut shots. These are
That's
things
a really
that
interesting
kind of
point,
attack
Andy.
from
Yeah.
the big.
I think that the reason why we need to continue, even though we can see that Baliev has gotten there, is that if Baliev is prepared to do this with 9-8, he's going to have a lot of other hands that haven't hit a pair here yet and will continue for that 1 million. And, our queen or our ace might be live as the 10 of clubs comes in on the turn.
There's so many chips in the middle. Now, it is
Yeah.
a little bit scary for 9-8 because there is a chance he is just being slow played by aces, kings, maybe even like a set of 10s now by 𝐸𝐮𝐬. I think it's very unclear how to navigate here on a turn. Like, does he just check fold to get away from traps? Or does he just bet to protect because he bets so small on the flop and he invites floats? It looks like he's going to go for check. And I believe if there was a bet to come in, probably would just give up the 9-8. That's my read.
Yeah, but I don't think 𝐸𝐮𝐬 has any intention of turning this hand into a bluff and getting... There are no real better hands. I think he can expect better premium pre-flop hands to get to fold. So
Yeah,
does
I like check.
elect to check back and just praying for that ace or the queen. And I'll tell you what, hopefully the camera sticks around on 𝐸𝐮𝐬's face when he sees this 9-8 offsuit at Showdown if this goes check, check, Randy. Because that is a very, I'll say it, obnoxious pot to lose, right?
Yeah.
By most accounts, it should just be yours.
I do think there is merit for 𝐸𝐮𝐬 to at least think about turning his hand to a bluff if a check does come in, which I think should happen. Because he could technically blow out like
Ace king.
ace king high.
Yeah.
He has slow plays in his hands. His range is actually still relatively strong, even checking back to turn. It's not unreasonable for aces,
yeah.
kings, and tens to check, right?
I think that the important thing, though, is that, like, what am I credibly repping here? The 2 trap hands in aces and kings, pocket 10s, which I think would check back the turn. But am I value betting pocket jacks on the river? Probably. Because we would have heard from queens plus on the turn of the river. So, oh, but that looks like a give up. And, oh, 𝐸𝐮𝐬's not going to like it.
Show him. Everyone's like, really, guys? Look at 𝐸𝐮𝐬.
Oh, the camera does linger on the man from China who came in here with a significant chip lead. Started the FT with 11 million to the next closest being 6.8. King 7 suited. Hajiayev might decide that this is a fun little mid-position blocker to
700.
make a raise with as the co-chip leader, but isn't going to get past the 6 big blinds of Cale Burns. So we will have an all-in and a call here unless there is, well, I mean, if there's more action behind it, would still be an all-in and a call. But, yeah, I don't think Raman is getting away from this.
No, it's only $1 million more. He's already invested 700,000.
Like
Yep.
1.4, 1.7 something, I think.
Priced in.
Oh, yeah, he knows it.
He's doing all right. 40% equity.
And the lone Aussie on this final table, Cale Burns, hoping for a double back into contention. Hajiayev would love to win this to maybe create some separation from him and Baliev. Not like that. No clubs to speak of.
Ooh, that's a dagger.
Yeah, that stings.
Gotta do the stand up, soften some equity.
Try it.
That fucking ace of
That
spades there.
is the basilisk sting right there on the turn.
GG.
And 𝐾𝐨𝐽 is done in 8th.
Gotta be disappointing, but when you get short, you gotta expect King 7 to still call your shove, given how committed Ramin was.
Yeah, we've had some drama to get to this point 7-handed, but everything ended up being a bit status quo, Randy. I mean, David Peters was 9th in chips. He finished 9th. 𝐾𝐨𝐴 was 8th.
Yeah,
Finishes in 8th for just shy of 200,000. Ah, you think darkness is your ally. But I was born in the dark, molded by it.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so I don't know any of these quotes. But cool. Well, what does Alfred say to Wayne when he falls in the well or whatever when he's a kid? What's that line?
Something about getting up.
I think that line's more
When we
famous. You
fall?
can't remember it? Serious?
We get back up.
Oh, we got a 10s versus Queen Jack suited. They're going to get it in.
Oh, yeah, an effective shove from Brandon Wilson here for 3 million chips at 400K big blind. Winfred Yu, very happy to get this in.
Equities are going to be very close with 10s versus Queen Jack suited. Yeah, look at that, 53-46. Slight advantage to Winfred.
You sure you don't want to sip?
I got to stick to my guns at this point. I mean, sip in spirit.
Kind of an espresso hand combination too. Like the last hand, King Jack, that found it a
Anybody got a reasonable flop?
Service.
Silence. Service.
Ace King is a fun one.
Big flop coming up. King, an interesting card. 8 and deuce, not so much. Brandon Wilson going to need a lot of help. Sucks, too, that the 10s block potential straight draws. One more card to come. We may have our 7th place finisher in the American Brandon Wilson. Looks a tiny bit dejected because he knows how unlikely it is to win, and he's going to have to settle for that 7th place prize of $259,000. Not a bad showing, all things considered.
And I'll be making up for the rest of this festival. This is his first cash, his very first Triton as well. This is the 4th event he's played.
Ooh.
Not bad. Not too shabby.
𝐾𝐨𝐴 for Manuel Fritz.
𝐾𝐨𝐫𝐿. Is that what we call kings these days?
875.
I had Bane on the brain, and then I thought about 𝐾𝐨𝐴.
Oh, how about more 𝐾𝐨𝐵𝐿?
Wow. This is actually a bit concerning because as far as the space-time continuum is concerned, you really shouldn't have more than 2 𝐾𝐨𝐵𝐿s right now.
So, yeah,
with these two
we got
clashing,
4
you don't
𝐾𝐨𝐵𝐿s.
want to cross the streams with your 𝐾𝐨𝐵𝐿s. This is going to be electric, but by all accounts, will probably end in a very big chop.
All right, there's the 3-bet. Which one are you rooting for? You think someone's gonna get 4 flushed here? Gonna pick a side?
850.
Yeah, I'll take Renji. I think he got
1.9.
pretty screwed earlier, and I want him to win. I know I'm not supposed to be biased, but I don't know.
I like how you go, you want him to win. You could have stayed neutral there.
You're right. No, I mean, listen, Fritz seems like a joy. I'm just teasing.
Does he? Because you did say 𝐸𝐵𝐺
No, but look, Ranji got a little unlucky. I would like to see him maybe. He doesn't have to get lucky here. I'm more worried about, you know, the space-time continuum as we established.
Come on. Heart spades. One time, I want to see you sweat.
I have a pocket pair too. Hit mine, they all joined that.
But they have an ace and a pocket pair.
You have an ace?
No, the fair thing is everyone goes home with 5 million.
Diamonds live.
Fritz is going to get that backdoor flush draw.
Boom, boom. Our pocket pair joined
Full
that.
house versus full house. $500K a piece in profit.
So happy to call.
Yeah, it seemed like he was
Yeah, you saw, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking to reshove.
And I don't want to speak to, you know, the way that a super high roller's confidence may or may not waver over the course of each Triton series, but, you know, Hajiayev had a very tough Monte Carlo. He didn't cash a single event, only cashed one event in Montenegro. So to come here and cash 2 of the first 3 events for a total of over 100,000 and now have this significant chip lead playing for 1.5 million, I think it'll be a nice relief for him to come out of here with a really big score.
King Jack can take this to work. He's going to go for $1 million as the blinds are 255. Greenwood's got ace-10 suited. He's only got 6 big blinds.
Yeah, and just from the cutoff open, this money's going in. I don't think that the Canadian is going to expect to see a fold, but is going to be ahead of that opening range.
Yeah, I'll probably push in like 3 million chips, leave a little back just in case.
2,075,000.
So he's actually made it 2,075,000. He's left the million back.
2,075,000.
Yeah, I think the
Interesting.
utility of that is just if the 2 players behind both go all in, he can save, you know, 2 big blinds and stay in instead of, you know,
Yeah,
half a big blind or something if you keep it in 250, right?
very interesting now for 𝐸𝐵𝐺'𝐵𝐾. I believe the 6 big blind kind of stack. Did he just say all in? I'm
Yeah.
curious to why he went that route rather than call and see what happens. But maybe just keep it simple. Avoid making a mistake post-flop. But we do have an all-in confrontation. 7.45 in the middle. Greenwood is at risk. Don't pick a side here, okay, Griffin?
Yeah, this is tough because, you know, he's a fan favorite for me is 𝐸𝐵𝐺, but Sam Greenwood's my, you know, my brethren, fellow Canadian. So I don't care who
got the
wins.
lead. Greenwood's in a lot of trouble. 5 outs.
Yucky.
Only
Straight
3
now
outs.
for 𝐸𝐵𝐺. Just needs to dodge one of the 3 remaining kings.
That's it. Rough final table for Greenwood.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Probably should have been out in 9th place, but found a way to get out of that hand with 8 big blinds and then ladder up to 7th. I mean, obviously he would have preferred to run a little better after that scenario, but did find 2 pay jumps, which is significant as we get towards the bigger buy-ins. I mean, look at the difference between, you know, 9th place and 6th. What am I saying? I said 7th before. 6th place, that's a huge jump. That's a huge jump of almost $200,000.
Gonna cool down. One gapper for Vyacheslav. I don't know, I just feel like he's itching to play a hand, don't you?
Yeah.
He's like, come on. It's pretty tempting to play this one, actually. But he's like, gotta play conservative.
There's just little to no post-flop play right now.
Snap
So when you
canvas.
raise something you want to kind of like, I think, have a blocker at this stage. 9-7 suit, obviously so pretty, but what are you hoping that the big blind maybe calls with something that...
Can I count, please?
Wow. I actually think this is probably a call with Jack 9 suited. As you can see, even against King 8, the equities are so close.
Yeah, 7.5 blinds.
It's
Jack
not that
9
detrimental
suited.
to his stack either.
No, I think we can anticipate a call, but it's not easy. It's like right on the line. If this was 4.5 million and representing about 40% of Renji's stack, I think he would just fold. So we're pretty close to that amount, but 3.8 is going to be good enough for him.
Here we go. Yeah, because even if he's up against like an ace rag, like he performs really well.
Yeah, look,
with Jack 9 suited.
46%. You know, you already have $1 million out there between the blind and Annie.
$8 million
Gotta
chip
realize
pot.
your equity, yeah.
Let's see. Jack 9 looking good. Fritz needs a king or some clubs. Ah, you see that? That's exciting. Doesn't
No
get
dice. Manuel Fritz is going to be our 5th place finisher.
What does he get?
Gets a lot of money. And going to increase his Triton cash total from $0. So nice to get the monkey off the back, and it's going to be in the form of $467,000. I mean, that's a nice little score. You know, even if that's all he gets from this series, I think he'll be very proud to have come out here and put up a performance like that against some of the best players in the world in a $30,000 buy-in.
It's like when you put a chip on every single number on the roulette felt, except for the 0. Just for the story.
You know, for me, it's also the 00. I don't put it on.
Yeah, you're playing 00 roulette, man. Go into the high limit pit if you're going to do it, where they have single 0. You know they have 000 now? Disgusting.
I probably would play it.
Well, Hajiayev's going to play the ace-7. What's wrong with you?
Just kidding,
What
man.
are you, like 6-5 blackjack? You're into it?
All right, so Hajiayev jams the button of ace-7 off. Now, keep in mind the blinds did go up recently, so Winfred is actually quite shallow of his suited king. Might be pretty close. Yeah, he's going to go for it.
King 8 suited is where Winfred Yu draws the line. And he will be displeased that Hajiayev happens to have the part of his range that's in the lead heading to this flop. 13.2 million chip pot. Far more critical for Winfred, who is covered. $10-5-4, no diamond on board, and things look grim for the time being. For the man from Hong Kong, they stay that way on the turn. 6 outs, 1 time.
Can he get it?
Nope.
Good game, Winfred.
It comes to an abrupt halt for Winfred Yu.
Good game.
You see 𝐿𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐸 showing a little love along with Hajiayev. Obviously, they know it's a painful moment. Winfred would have loved to hang in there and keep fighting.
But it's a very respectable finish in 4th, you know, considering the talent in this tournament. And he's the guy who's been around the Triton scene from the very beginning.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's unclear. I think Ramin's a pretty good choice, if I had to guess. Jack
You mean
deuce?
Jaffe's a pretty good choice for a coach. And for that matter, Ramin has looked every bit a great choice as a student. He's been executing out here.
Do see a jam incoming for ace-7.
Call, all in.
Oh, snap called. Wow, this is the disaster you were talking about.
Ace-9 against
Уравнение на
Ace-7.
туз 9, Вован, чтоб ты не перепутал. За кого болеть.
Boy, the facial expression on 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐽 suggests that he was a little bit surprised at the speed of the call and then the holding that was revealed. Randy, is this all right from Hajiayev's standpoint? Is Ace-9 enough hand?
It is enough hand. This is definitely enough hand, especially with how often Renji's been jamming as of late. It's just one of those, I can't believe you have it. Now I need to try to hit the 7. There's a 9 in the window and followed by a 7. He's only got 2 outs, or we're heads up.
Well, running diamonds would be a thing as well. 23.8 million chip pot. Nobody is anti-sweating that A7 harder than Vyacheslav, who'll be thrilled to look at this 3 of spades. 𝐸𝐮𝐬𝐽 looks like he doesn't know what just happened. Can he find the hockey stick and keep this match 3-handed? He cannot.
Very
Hajiayev
good game.
Good bluff.
issues the GGs
Pretty bad bluff. Sorry.
and immediately Mao complimenting Vyacheslav, but looking up to the sky.
他妈的掉在第3名。
I feel the pain. I
do
really
too.
do.
I do too. And so does 𝐸𝐻𝐼, by the way.
Ramin, first to act. Another jack deuce. He's getting short. I mean, he's got 1.9 back. He's just saying,
Wow.
side call. He's ahead.
Already has a couple of big blinds of the very few in total that he brought into this particular pot invested. And he will be pleased to at least have the better hand. But take a look at the equities. That 8-6 of hearts is going to be a winner 47% of the time.
Yeah, and Vyacheslav didn't want to fold the big blind ante as well. So let's see, can the jack high hold?
Oh,
That's going to be tough.
it is technically the best hand right now. But you see the 2 hearts, and so does Hajiayev. He could ice it with a flush on the turn. By the way, it's a pair of deuces, I stand corrected, on this board. But that's not on Balayev's mind. Anti-sweating an 8-6 or a heart for the time being very much is in a 6.2 million chip pot. And the turn hits Ramin. 1 card away is Hajiayev from another Triton title. And 1.5 million. Can Vyacheslav find the deuce or the jack? The Russian camp certainly hopes so, but it isn't to be. As Ramin improves to the flush, and once again tastes Triton glory.
Oh, so impressive for Ramin to have 2 Triton titles. Really has evolved as a player since winning his first in the Triton Invitational for 4.1 million. Now cashing here for the 2nd title for 1.5 million. That's just amazing.
Igor Yarashevsky, the first to congratulate him, as he's not going to waste any time waiting for Luka to hand him the hardware. He reaches out and grabs it himself.
Now you can.
A little over $1 million.
Can I have a favor? Can my face will be this trip or next trip better?
For you?
Going to Balayev. Luka on hand for the particulars, as it didn't last very long, and you wouldn't be faulted for thinking that's about how long we would have expected it to go. Just the odds were it was going to be a short-lived affair for Balayev.